Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar's visit to Beijing has kicked off on an embarrassing note. Visuals showed that the Pakistan Foreign Minister wasn't even welcomed with a carpet. Forget about a red carpet. China is expectedly upset with Pakistan after Operation Sindoor proved its weaponry to be subpar, completely futile and useless. Chinese defense talks like Chengdu and Shenyang have crashed after India's missiles proved that Chinese HQ-9 air defense systems were a complete failure, and its PL-15 missile could hit no target in India. Moreover, Chinese jets in Pakistan Air Force also could not prevent Indian strikes on 9 Pakistan terror camps. Now, a rattle Pakistan wants China to expedite the J-35 aircraft delivery and is also seeking expedition of the Mohammed Dam in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which was pending since 2019 due to India's Indus water squeeze. We'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us on the show is Major General Dhruv Katoch, Director of India Foundation, Ambassador Phunchok Stobdan, former diplomat, with us on the show as well. Ambassador Bhaswati Mukherjee, former diplomat, is on the program with us as well. And last but not the least, Dr. Amjad Ayub Mirza, POK activist, joins us on the show as well. General Katoch, I'll begin with you, sir. Sir, obviously this is an embarrassment for China. This is an embarrassment for China at a number of levels. Look at what India has been able to achieve with the precision strikes. It has not only sent a message to Pakistan about its accessibility, about its reach, but it has also given it a befitting message that whatever we sent to you was homemade, was not made in China, and is not going to embarrass the Indian government whatsoever. General Katoch.
Thank you, Vineet. Vineet, I think there's so many important lessons which come out. Now, it is understandable that every country will try to project its own image, you see. So India will praise its own weapon systems and Pakistan will praise its own. But the stock markets never lie. You see, where money is involved, the truth comes out. And when the Chinese stocks have crashed, that is the clearest proof. We don't need it from any other place that they have been decisively beaten. And at the same time, when you look at the Indian stocks, when you look at the BrahMos and the other weapon systems, the Indian defense sector, the stocks are rising and they will continue to rise. That, I think, is the most conclusive proof, regardless of anybody else, because ultimately people get down to, the people who matter at the political leadership level and at the defense manufacturing level. They know what has happened. They know exactly to the T what has happened, and now that is the confirmation. Of course, we claimed it. We stated so in very clear terms that not one of the missiles or the drones of which the Pakistanis put against India, not one was successful. We had 100% success rate in stopping them, which is why the Indian stocks have gone up. On the other side, when we went in for the attack on the very first night, okay, we can say we achieved an element of surprise. Let us say that is true. But what happened on the second night and the third night? We told them we are doing it. We told them that we're going to hit your military targets. Of course, we didn't tell them which targets, but we told them we are hitting them, and the whole Pakistan, the entire systems, they were ready for any Indian response throughout the country. And yet we hit their air bases, we hit their radar installations, we hit whatever we wanted to hit, and we destroyed that HQ-9. Now, what clearer proof can we have than the stock markets? So, yes, their foreign minister's got a lot of explaining to when he goes to China, and let's see what comes out of it. It really won't make a difference as far as the JF-35 is concerned. For them to reach will take many years, and by that time, a lot of changes will have taken place in the Indian weaponry also. As far as the Mohammadpur Dam is concerned, I really don't think it will matter at this point of time. Vineet.
All right. Let me rope in Ambassador Bhaswati Mukherjee also into this conversation. Ambassador Mukherjee, are you there with us, ma'am? Ambassador Mukherjee?
Yes, I'm in the program, Vineet.
All right. Ma'am, your analysis of what's happened here, obviously Pakistan was never respected by China, whether they towed their line or not. But this time, things are very different. Pakistan has managed to embarrass and upset China at a number of levels. In fact, they have gone back to the Americans when it comes to advice against their master's wishes, which is China.
Well, in my perspective, Vineet, uh, the country has been exposed against superior weaponry of the S-400 plus the Israeli drones plus uh, what we have from France and from some amount from the United States. There's no doubt about that. But more than that, it is extremely embarrassing for China to understand that its protege, virtually like a satellite state, cannot face up in any way to India. And therefore, it has come as a very rude shock to China that therefore the balancing equation in South Asia that it thought it had obtained by hyphenating India with Pakistan is not going to work. India is an emerged power, and India today is in a situation where it has clearly demonstrated a new war doctrine, new messaging, and has also demonstrated that its air power and its ability to defend itself from rained upon us mercilessly, including, as I discovered yesterday, even towards the Golden Temple in Amritsar, which means that they have no compunctions, despite their so-called sympathy for Sikhs. They had no compunctions in trying to target the Golden Temple in Amritsar, which we were able to defend successfully. There were also several missiles that tried to hit Delhi but were shot down. So this has naturally embarrassed the Chinese, and it would appear to me that the foreign minister has reached China virtually uninvited. Just called and said he's coming. It's not on the basis of an invitation because the Chinese are very protocol conscious, and if they invite you officially, they actually really give you extremely good protocol. I have myself in my service career been to Beijing at the invitation of the Chinese government, and I remember the kind of protocol they extended. So this kind of shabby reception at the airport demonstrates that China perhaps is having a rethink about the power equations and the power balances which have emerged in Asia and in particular in South Asia, and that the Chinese may therefore be making some calculations which would perhaps over the next few weeks we would know affect in a positive manner the Chinese attempt to balance out its relationship with India. That would also be clear messaging that we have done because you talked earlier about the 32-member delegation, which is being briefed by Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri right now. It is the 7 groups that are going, they are not going to China. That's also very clear messaging that has been done. Whereas the pathetic delegation, which has been put together by Pakistan, I'm sure their first destination would be China. So the messaging that we have given is that we know that Turkey and Pakistan have, Turkey and China have propped up Pakistan against India. Their efforts have not been successful, and that India, at its own time and moment, will take the necessary action. As far as Turkey is concerned, we have already done so. As far as China is concerned, it's for them to calculate whether two huge neighbors like China and India really should live in such a tense atmosphere because they are propping up Pakistan against us. But since it hasn't succeeded, perhaps they'll have a rethink because China, like India, is a long and ancient civilization of 7,000 years. They are pragmatic too. They're very pragmatic people. Perhaps they'll have a rethink on the kind of equation they need to have with India. Vineet.
You're absolutely right, ma'am. Dr. Mirza, do you think that, ever since Operation Sindoor and the IMF bailout and the way Pakistan, reached out to us for a ceasefire after suffering that humiliating defeat, things are moving in Pakistan, things are moving towards a Pakistan that perhaps once again wants to go closer to the Americans, and perhaps China that has an ongoing tariff spat with Donald Trump at this point is going to want Pakistan to be on its side. Do you think this dynamics of it all is going to help India in one way or the other?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. You see, there are rumors, semi-factual, that Donald Trump's family is going to invest heavily in cryptocurrency in Pakistan and make it into a hub of cryptocurrency. I don't know how that is going to happen, considering Pakistan is such a corrupt country. Answering your question, you see, Americans do not want Pakistan to disintegrate for the simple reason that they look at Pakistan as a tool of constant irritant for India. China, likewise, although they have not any good relations with America, they also want Pakistan to continue to exist for their own economic benefits and political strategic benefits. Now, India, this whole thing about Donald Trump claiming that he called on and he bribed both countries with trade benefits and this and that has led to the ceasefire is hollow talk, and that has backfired in a big way and exposed how shallow American diplomacy has been during this period of Operation Sindoor. China, I think, has uh, is very angry because the air defense system that Pakistan was using totally collapsed. Their fighters could not, deliver. So in the beginning, it was all about China, China's equipment and all that. Then suddenly Pakistan made a U-turn and started saying, no, 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 we have used homegrown technology to counter India. What homegrown grown technology? Khota redis, tangas, what homegrown technology do they have? So it's lie. And now this visit of China, I think, is they are going to talk about it, and I think China is also going to issue a statement that during Operation Sindoor, Chinese equipment, military equipment was not used. However, this Turkey is very worrying for me because Turkish drones have been used, and Turkey is, propagating Pakistan against India. And I think Turkey is also part of the wider uh, international group that do not want to see India Middle East Economic Corridor come to fruition, should be completed. So it's a very complicated board at the moment to look at, where different pawns are playing different roles. And but one thing is now beyond any doubt that Indian diplomacy has got a multifaceted approach towards the world. We do not have one single rule for every country. I mean, we have got underlining policies, neighbors first, and non-interference in other countries' internal affairs. But having said that, this 59 strong parliamentary and political delegation that has been put together, it shows the unity of our country as never before. I was amazed to see that Shashi Tahoor was leading one delegation. Awasi Saab is also going to be talking about putting forward India's perspective regarding Operation Sindoor. These are very positive developments, considering in the past Congress and Awasi Saab have been very critical about Modi government, but this now is going beyond, above and beyond petty politics. So this is a very, very encouraging sign. Whereas Pakistan's delegation that they are trying to send to other countries for briefing on this Operation Sindoor it consists of Bilawal Bhutto and the ruling party. They have not involved the opposition in it. PTI is not going to be on board. Any Baloch political party is not going to be there. KPK's political organizations are not going to be there. So I don't think it will be effective at all. But before Bilawal Bhutto lands on the tarmac of any country's airport, they would be saying to themselves, we know what he's going to say. But we have to say, let's have a nice meal or a cocktail party and let him say what he says, and off he goes. But with Indian delegation, it's totally different. It shows unity of India for the first time, and I emphasize on this, for the first time, unity of India as a nation. And it's very sad to see that still some quarters are raising questions on the sincerity and the timing and the strategy of Operation Sindoor. And they are maligning Shashi Tharoor and others for joining. But Shashi Tharoor has been straight and he said that this is nothing to do with my affiliation with Congress. This is a call for the nation. I was called to represent my country, and country comes above and beyond party affiliations. Thank you.
All right, Ambassador Stobdan also with us. Sir, your analysis of this unsolicited visit by the Pakistanis to China. Obviously, like Ambassador Mukherjee also said, that they are very particular about protocols. And of course, what does Pakistan know about protocol?
There was not even a normal carpet at the airport. And that fellow was taken in a minibus to a hotel. Now it shows, he simply went for begging. I don't think he's going to talk about military weapons and performance and all that. And for that, Khoja Asif and General Munir might go separately to Beijing for both begging and explaining all that thing. But Ishaq Dar's visit is simply for begging and perhaps to shape the narrative, the post-Pahalgam narrative. That's the purpose. I don't think he has the mandate to talk about military. So I think Chinese know all that. Last year they gave some $2 billion aid. I don't think more weapons, more economic aid is coming to Pakistan. They would be clearly told to, behave in a manner which suits the international position. Chinese are very particular on, although they made some statement, political statement, but I think they have told the Pakistanis to strictly adhere to the promise they have made, including the weapon system and others, the use of a weapon system. So I think agenda is very limited. I think the Afghan foreign minister, acting foreign minister Muttaqi is also is going to be in Beijing. Perhaps people are talking about a trilateral meeting with the Chinese and the Pakistanis. I don't know the agenda. They do have a format to discuss security, but it is not going to be about India, but more about CPEC and Belt and Road. Afghans are interested in having a transport corridor through Wakhan belt, Wakhan corridor. So that would be raised. On the security issue, I don't see the trilateral meeting is going to be any success. The Pakistanis and the Afghans have a very, very bitter problem right now because of the border dispute, the terror problem, and the migration issue of the Afghan refugees from Pakistan who have been expelled recently. And we are willing to now help the Afghan refugees, in the humanitarian aid. So things are shaping up, but Pakistan is rattled, Pakistan is cornered. As Ambassador Mukherjee has just said, there won't be anybody to listen to Pakistani version of what is happening. He will go, he will be treated by some PLA guys. I know their lobby there in Peking, especially who entertains the Pakistanis. There will be a little bit of protocol from the foreign ministry, but beyond that, it's not going to be extraordinary. The Chinese are mindful of what is happening in South Asia. They will be restrained. They know about the implications. I think that would be the key issues.
All right, General Katoch, in terms of Pakistan's defense spending and the conditions that the IMF has also imposed on them when it comes to their day-to-day bureaucratic functioning as well, how potentially hazardous will it be for the country of Pakistan to go down this route where they will try and match India pound for pound in terms of defense spending and defense posturing?
Frankly, Vineet, I hope they do it. I hope they try to match India penny to penny, rupee to rupee, or whatever currency you want, because that is the fastest way they will get bankrupt and broken, the way the Soviet Union broke. Pakistan is headed that way. Now, even if they don't go down that route, I I think they're going to break anyway. That's, things are their economy, their internal security, and the political mess which they are in is becoming irretrievable. So if the military still wishes to compete with India, I think it's, as far as I'm concerned, it is a welcome development. It won't make a difference to us. We'll still beat we'll still beat them. If they want to get better aircraft and pay millions of dollars more, hundreds of millions of dollars more, that's all right. It really won't matter as far as India is concerned. We'll hold us, and we will still carry out those strikes against them at our will whenever we wish to. That message, I think, has been conveyed. So what does the future what does the future tell? I think if Pakistan has to survive, and I want to get onto the methodologies now, one, they need political stability, and number two, they need to keep their military on the leash. None of these two are going to happen. The military is still going to dictate policies. The IMF loan conditionalities have made it, made it very clear that Pakistan should reduce their defense budget. That is not going to happen. So I don't know what's going to happen to the loan or to future disbursements. So it's still a very, very confused picture, and I think we will have to wait for the next 3 to 4 months to see what's really going to happen. But regardless of the way Pakistan goes, regardless of the way if it arms itself or it follows a different path, I think they have got very, very difficult choices ahead. They cannot match India regardless of what they do, and their internal security problems, especially the political problems, are going to take them down. Every single day from now, the Balochis are going to give them hell. In Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the Tehreek-e-Taliban is not going to let them go. And in Gilgit-Baltistan, the message is already going across to those people with people like Amjad Mirza here, and conversing with them, with his people in Gilgit-Baltistan. Okay, listen, there is no place for you here either. So they're in for very difficult times, and they have brought it upon themselves. So I think, as far as India is concerned, we should simply wait and watch. We've got nothing further to do, and as and when the situation evolves, I think we will take action appropriately. Vineet.
Well said, sir. Unfortunately, we've run out of time. Appreciate everybody who joined us. Thank you so much for your presence. We're going to take a short break on that note. Be right back.